My name is Walter Hartwell White. I live at 308 Negra Arroyo Lane, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87104. This is my confession. If you're watching this tape, I'm probably dead. Murdered by my brother-in-law, Hank Schrader. Hank has been building a meth empire for over a year now and using me as his chemist. Shortly after my 50th birthday, Hank came to me with a rather shocking proposition. He asked that I use my chemistry knowledge to cook methamphetamine, which he would then sell using his connections in the drug world. Connections that he made through his career with the DEA. I was astounded. I always thought that Hank was a very moral man, and I was thrown, confused. But I was also particularly vulnerable at the time. Something he knew and took advantage of. I was reeling from a cancer diagnosis that was poised to bankrupt my family. Hank took me on a ride-along and showed me just how much money even a small meth operation could make. And I was weak. I didn't want my family to go into financial ruin, so I agreed. Every day, I think back at that moment with regret. I quickly realized that I was in way over my head, and Hank had a partner, a man named Gustavo Fring, a businessman. Hank essentially sold me into servitude to this man. And when I tried to quit, Fring threatened my family. I didn't know where to turn. Eventually, Hank and Fring had a falling out. From what I can gather, Hank was always pushing for a greater share of the business, to which Fring flatly refused to give him, and things escalated. Fring was able to arrange, I guess you call it a hit, on my brother-in-law. And it failed, but Hank was seriously injured. And I wound up paying his medical bills, which amounted to a little over $177,000. Upon recovery, Hank was bent on revenge. Working with a man named Hector Salamanca, he plotted to kill Fring, and did so. In fact, the bomb that he used was built by me. And he gave me no option in it. I have often contemplated suicide, but I'm a coward. I wanted to go to the police, but I was frightened. Hank had risen in the ranks to become the head of the Albuquerque DEA. And about that time, to keep me in line, he took my children from me. For 3 months, he kept them. My wife, who up until that point had no idea of my criminal activities, was horrified to learn what I had done. Why Hank had taken our children. We were scared. I was in hell. I hated myself for what I had brought upon my family. Recently, I tried once again to quit, to end this nightmare. And in response, he gave me this. I can't take this anymore. I live in fear every day that Hank will kill me. Or worse, hurt my family. All I could think to do was to make this video and hope that the world will finally see this man for what he really is.
No. I don't want to talk about it. Okay, can we just take a break?
Later. All right, so you get to Bedeker's place, then what?
I get to his door, and I could hear music inside, like squeaky voices. And I thought, maybe I knocked on his door, the music stopped, and then he was right there. When he saw the gun, he thought, I don't know what he thought. He was just so scared. Then he started talking. I think he offered me money. He kept saying that, you don't have to do this. His eyes were so big, and then I did it. I did it. This happened real fast, I didn't want to look. But there was just blood everywhere. It was all over his books, all over his, I got down to the car and, I couldn't drive, I couldn't even move. Next thing I know, that Deuce Victor is tapping on the window. And so that asshole takes me down to the lab, of course, and me, Mike, Victor, and Mr. White sit down there waiting for Gus to show up. And I just can't, just once.
So I saw this guy, Kubi's, up front laying a bunch of bull crap on the engineer, but it's only going to work for so long. We're working as fast as we can, but it's gonna take some time, and that pump is sounding real loud. After we're done, Mike tells me that we should have been done, 5 minutes earlier, but Mr. White's greedy. He needed his 1,000 gallons, like, exactly. So once word comes down that we are done, I start hearing this clinking and clanking. I'm still pulling hose from the pump, and the train starts moving. So I lay as flat as I can until the train passes me. So we are high-fiving because it worked. Then, we turn around and there is this kid on a dirt bike looking at us. He doesn't know who we are or what we're doing, but he just happens to be there by random chance. Drew Sharp, that kid that went missing up in Whitehorse. It's him. And then out of nowhere, Todd, that opie, dead-eyed piece of shit pulls out a gun and shoots the kid.
So this is Todd Elkins we're talking about? He killed Drew Sharp?
Boom. Like it was nothing. You're gonna get him, right?
You better believe it. What'd you do with the body?
What do you think? Same thing like the rest of them. We took him back to the Roach place. They threw him in a barrel like he was garbage and then poured acid all over him. You know, he was just a kid. He was just starting out his life, and he is dead because we wanted some methylamine.